Yubel against the best deck. What the heck are you doing? Delta, your opponent activates a spell card, negate a spell. Okay, let's go. Opening up with the Spirit Gate, searching our deck for a Dark Beckoning Beast. Dark Beckoning Beast, activate, search our deck for the opening Spirit Gates, another one, as we now make an Almirage. If you want to be able to additionally summon with the Dark Beckoning Beast, this is why, if you're wondering, why are people playing Chaos Core or Chaos Summoning Beast? It's so when you open up the Spirit Gates, you can get 2 Fiend monsters onto the field to make a Yama, otherwise you can't do so. But with Almirage, we get the Dark Beckoning in the grave, so we can discard a card to reborn it to instead make an SP Little Knights. Yep, okay. We have 4 disruptions, though, even though this field was not that good, thanks to our hand traps, Ash Blossom, and the Little Knight. We're now down to triple disruption. Volcanics activate to pop a fire to search for a fire. We're going to Imperm negate. Kieran is going to dodge the negate. We're going to Imperm again, thus we only have Ash Blossom. All right, now Volcanics will trigger to summon a level 8 from the deck alongside our level 8 Kieran. So we can make a rank 8 Xyz. Do we do so, or do we get Lincoln? No, you will not be summoning from the deck your level 8 monster as we negate. And I think that's it for our plays. We can't get the Poplar triggered or onto the field here. Wiping out that Little Knight, and let's hop into the next turn. The Spirit Gates can search for another Dark Beckoning, and 2 Spirit Gates both can activate. Both could separately discard a card to reborn. We're going to discard the Psyframe Driver, reborn the Dark Beckoning Beast. Kieran's going to pop Kieran, triggering Kieran to summon Volcanics, which will pop a beast in the fields. Goodbye to the beast. Triggering Volcanics to pop the Poplar, grab from the deck a Ponix. Ponix trigger, summon itself onto the field, search our deck for the Sanctuary. Yubel without Yubel is not very good. Let's hop on the next duel. Nightmare, Pain it up, pop a Dark Monster to search our deck for a Samsara D Lotus. Yubel during the end phase, tributing a Yubel to keep itself on the field. With the Nightmare Pain, you cannot attack into the Apollo USA. And if you attack into Yubel, it's double reflected damage. So what we have is, we have the Soul of Rage, we have Phantom of Yubel, we have Apollo, we have Ash Blossom, we have Super Poly, which could fuse with the entire field. All right, let's go. Subversion, pushing Apollo, so we just lost out on 2 disruptions here. Snake Eye Ash could have been negated by the Phantom of Yubel, which would only change the effect to not negate the card. We thus out it with a Crossout Designate. Negate the Ash Blossom. Are we going to negate a Poplar, or are we waiting for the largest Super Poly we can make? Super Poly the entire field? You're not playing Loving Defender? Really? Wow. Super Poly with Garura, Moo Dragon, and no Loving Defender. So we're not Palmerizing with the whole field. That's really interesting. Really? Super Poly without Loving Defender. Huh. Okay. Didn't pull it, probably. Right. Pop the Spirit of Yubel, summon a Yubel. Chamber, reborning the Soul of Rage. Soul of Rage, linking off with a special summon monster to make an SP Little Knight. Little Knight on summon, banishing the Snake Eye Ash off the fields. Be gone. Now, we do have our original Sinful, and it looks like we're pretty much out of relevant disruptions to stop it. We're gonna send it, summon an Oak. Oak reborn from the graveyard. The Little Knight could banish the Oak if we want to. Yup, that's fine. We could then follow up the Diablo Star into what? I think we actually were properly disrupted. That's it, we're done. Discard Nibiru, summon a Diablo Star Black Witch. Step into the back row, something not too relevant. We can't use it that turn. Snake Eye Ash and the Diablo Star making a Hida. Hida could go into a Promethean Princess. We're going to reborn the Ash from the opposing graveyard into the Super Poly play. Discard Nightmare Pain to then fuse with their field into a Moo Dragon. And just like that, we are done. But can Yubel put up lethal damage? Let's see. Come forth. We're going to be Xyzing into Varudras at home. Machine X is here. If they activate a monster effect, you can suck up the monster, but it does not negate. 0 attack to the face, sure, why not? 1900, not quite lethal damage. If we could set up any disruptions, that would be good, as we have the Phantom of Yubel, further linking this up into an IP Masquerena. That's a rare card to see within Yubel. So we have the Little Knight Banish, Phantom of Yubel, negate a monster effect. We do have the Deus Machine X into a monster suck. The Masquerena could go into maybe Goddess. Maybe we're going to whip out that Goddess. 4 potential disruptions as you grab Eponyx. Send to the grave to summon our Diablo Star to activate to set up into the back row as the Poplar triggers, equipping our Hita into the back row. Okay, all right, all right. Subversion, push one of the disruptions into the back row. Subversion, Phantom of Yubel, now we're down to 3 disruption. Machine X is not negating, but it's going to suck up that Ponix. Suck it up. Thank you very much. Now with your field spell, you don't have a fire monster to pop. No pop on a fire. We're going to take out the Little Knight, so now we're down to, I mean, we pretty much have nothing left. But the Yama Reborn, the Soul of Rage, which could link off the opponent into nothing, because you don't have any more links in the extra deck to make. All right, sure. Can we finish up this duel under Max C? 2400 damage is all we have to deal. Normal summoning our Dark Beckoning, grabbing the opening of the Spirit Gate, search our deck for another Dark Beckoning, which we can additionally normal summon. Come to us. And there we go. The Goddess is finally here with enough damage for lethal. Let's finish this up, taking this into a Game 3. Diablo Star attempting a trigger to Reborn from the grave. I don't think so. 7,800 damage. Game 3. All right, the extra deck for Mr. Cheeps is definitely very interesting. Masquerena, Goddess, playing the Cyburst Fusion instead of the Loving Defender. Loving Defender does require you to have a Yubel in the field, and if a lot of people are familiar with Super Poly, which they may not be so within the first week, there's a lot of ways to just stop you from getting Yubel in the field. Phantom of Yubel cannot be fused with, so getting out of Phantom of Yubel, if you could Super Poly with Phantom of Yubel, it'd be way better. Bricked? Well, you know, I think we're okay. We have a ton of hand traps here. Max, Ash, Gamma, Imperm, 4 activatable hand traps. We'll be fine. Maxi, in response to that special summon, we're going to guarantee get that draw 1. They're likely not ending on just this, are they? Poplar trigger, Imperm, negate the Poplar, not even allowing them to set up. Wow, Kieran additionally special summoning to dodge the impermanence, which the Gamma could have negated if we wanted to. We chose to not negate it. We are going to get that draw 1 instead. What are we saving Gamma for? Poplar trigger, equip into the back row. You don't want to Gamma that. That'd be ridiculous. Divine Temple set up into the back row. As we then make our Masquerena. Another draw 1. So we drew 3 cards, yeah? Poplar, Kieran, Masquerena. Opening of the Spirit Gates, grabbing our Dark Beckoning Beast. Not going to Maxi on the open field. Now, with our Dark Beckoning Beast normal summon, they are going to chain the Divine Temple. Did we not activate Dark Beckoning? We summoned it and we did not activate it. I guess we want to play around something that would be in response to it activating. Sure. Ash, negates. Maybe we don't play another Spirit Gates, maybe just 2. 2 Spirit Gates, probably. That might be the reason why. Okay, sure. We can additionally normal summon the D-Lotus. Divine Temple triggering off the summon to summon from the back of our Flamebear's Dragon to be used with the Masquerena. Again, under Maxi, by the way. Now, with the D-Lotus in the field, we're going to be making an SP Little Knight on summon. Banish that fool off the field. Be gone. No way to stop it. It is now going to... It was going to be a way to get access to our Nightmare Pain, which you already have. Popping the regular Yubel to search for a Samsara D-Lotus. But we already performed our additional normal summon. So we could use the opening of the Spirit Gates to discard D-Lotus to reborn D-Lotus, as we then make an Almirage. We're going to be returning back in the deck from the grave to make our Phantom of Yubel, which will be able to negate the Little Knight as we summon from the deck our Spirit of Yubel. Grabbing another copy of the Nightmare Pain, which is not an additional benefit. We now have the Yama. Yama activates search our deck for Shavara. Return from the graveyard back in the deck to summon our Phantom of Yubel. we should attack with the Phantoms first. That's going to be free damage. 3,200 damage, right? 16, 16, then wipe it out. Shivara within main phase 2, pop the Phantom of Yubel. As we further Shokan this up into an Unchained Soul of Rage, triggering the Shivara to set from the deck of Chamber. Now we're going to link off with the Soul of Rage because we could reborn it with Chamber. Apollo USA, triple monster negate. Let's go on top of the Soul of Rage and the Impermanence. Got about 5 good disruptions, plus more with the Soul of Rage. Apollo USA, negate the Ponix. No play for you. And again, I keep on seeing Chamber with a Call by the Grave. Is the Chamber going to be the way to be playing this as everyone keeps on fingering your Rage? Garunix triggering off of Fire Monster being destroyed. We have Gamma, negate, and destroy the Garunix mates, which it doesn't trigger off of being destroyed. So come forth from the deck, Side Frame Driver, as we also have a D-Lotus being reborn through the effect of the Yama. Now, tributing the D-Lotus to activate, it gets fingered by the Call by the Grave. We're going to be adding back our Ponix after it was destroyed on the previous turn. D-Lotus, tribute to summon for the deck. Nothing as we finger the D-Lotus. Negate. Okay, all right, nice. Now, what do we have from there? Opening the Spirit Gates for our second copy of the Dark Beckoning Beast, which we returned the original one back in the deck, by the way. Come forth and summon. We have the Divine Temple triggering to summon from the back row. We're going to Ash negate the Poplar. You're not searching your deck for a sinful card. I don't think so. Now, what is good? As we follow up with a Chamber. Chamber, reborn from the grave, our Soul of Rage. To battle we go. Not quite lethal. Yubel could struggle with lethaling. And because we destroyed a fire monster by battle, this will summon Garunix, pop a Kirin, which will then reborn from the hand or graveyard a Fire King, then pop a card in the fields. Pop in Kirin, reborn, summon from the hand or from the grave. So we have Ponix summoning through its own effect as the Kirin summons something else. We blocked our Kirin, so we actually don't destroy anything. Kirin can't summon Kirin. Yeah, do not do that. You could, in the TCG, Ponix Chainlink 1, Kirin Chainlink 2, if you wanted to. And the reason you'd want to do that is, let's say they finger your Kirin, the Ponix still gets summoned. But you can only Chainlink 2 Ponix to the Chainlink 1 Kirin within Master Duel. All right, let's go. No pop. Let's link up the Ponix into a Link Karibo. Use the Soul of Rage to link up with the Garunix, making an SP Little Knight. Come forth on summon, banishing from the field. Goodbye to the Divine Temple. Because we are turn player, the Divine Temple's on the lower chain link, thus getting stopped by the Little Knight. Sends the grave to summon a Diablo Star. Diablo Star set up into the back row as the Poplar triggers to equip into the back row. As the Little Knight chain banishes the Diablo Star from the field, also adding an Impermanence on top of it. So we're going to negate, you don't set from the deck, and you're going to get banished until the end phase. Thus, we just have a Poplar and a Fire King Sanctuary. Okay. Field spell into nothing. Well, we do have a Link Karibo, at least. Grab an Arvata, normal summon the Arvata. Arvata big enough to take out the Dark Beckoning Beast. Arvata needs another fire monster in the hand or in the gray on the field, that is to destroy, to negate something. The Diablo Star is not going to be good with Arvata. Now, if we destroy the Arvata, that will trigger the Garunix to summon to then pop the third copy of the Kirin. But we are super polyfusing with the Arvata, thus they don't get that trigger effect, and the Garunix needs a fire monster to be destroyed. So Diablo Star is not going to meet that requirement. Triggering Almirage by swinging in Grave Squirmer? We didn't think Nightmare Pain was going to reflect damage, right? I don't think so. The Grave Squirmer could get itself in the grave by just destroying itself. So when it summons, it could destroy. Did we normal summon it? Is that what happened? Whoa, we timed out. Oh my gosh. I guess we panicked. Holy moly. What happened? We normal summoned. We normal summoned Grave Squirmer. And then we were like, okay, we have to get Grave Squirmer in the grave, right? So we weren't trying to reflect damage, of course. We needed to get Grave Squirmer into the grave. And because we couldn't special summon it, because you have to have a Fiend monster on the field to special summon, then destroy itself. So normal summon into making Almirage, but Almirage is in the graveyard. So the only way to get Grave Squirmer in the grave was to normal summon, link it off, or normal summon, destroy by battle. But then we overcooked in main phase 2 and we timed out. Damn. All is well. Thank you very much. Let's watch Centurion and then go into the top 16. Primera. Searching our deck for a stand-up Centurion. We're playing against Tier Limit, which has been winning a ton of meta weeklies. Setting up to the back row a Trudea, which will summon itself, making itself level 8. Then setting into the back row another level 8, special summoning itself in the back row to then make our level 12 synchro into the Auxilla. Auxilla is going to search our deck for a Centurion Phalanx, which will banish a monster. Emblem Oath will set up into the back row a Centurion Bonds. Sure. The Bonds could quick effect set up a card into our back row. The Auxilla in the end phase could set a card into our back row. In the back row, during the opponent's main phase, we could special summon onto the field, and through the effect of the field spell, we could synchro with our monsters on their summon. So we have a 4, and we have a monster that could turn into a level 8, so we have a level 12 synchro during their turn. So it looks like we ended up on pretty much nothing, but we're going to have at least 2 disruption, the Phalanx, and whatever we synchro into it being our other form of disruption. So yeah, only 2 disruption. We're going to Sharon, discard a card to then mill 3. We're going to Call by the Grave, Finger the Rhino Heart from Reborning. We're going to chain Super Polymerization to fuse with the field, fusing with the Auxilla to now make a Moo Dragon. Now, what really sucks about that for Centurion is normally we like making a Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon requires another level 12 synchro to target. Now we don't have that other level 12 synchro. So with our level 12, we can't make things like the Shooting Kesar Dragon. We could instead go into Legatia, which will be able to non-target pop a monster your opponent controls and draw a card. So when do we pop? As the Moo Dragon made us untargetable from the Phalanx, Phalanx needs to target a monster card to then banish it. Now the Moo Dragon could change its attribute to Dark before Dark monsters are summoned onto the field. Primera is activating a trap effect, and Call by the Grave is banishing the monster that is Primera to negate the monster effect, right? Banish it, its effects are negated, so the trap effect should still work, right? Or it's dodging it. It doesn't negate, right? It doesn't negate, because the trap effect. So you're negating the monster effects, and the trap effect would still go through. We're now going to chain the Moo Dragon, changing ourselves into Dark. Now, Dark monsters cannot be targeted, but as we said, the Legatia is going to be able to non-target destroy. And despite that, we're still going to dodge the Finger, so the Primera could still get the ability to search our deck when it's summoned. Come forth and summon. Now, because this was a trap effect to make herself level 8, if you imperm the Trudea stays at level 8 because it was a trap effect that made itself level 8. We're now going to Sharon and the Rhino Heart, making a Kit Kalos. Kit Kalos on summon, search your deck for a Tier Limit or send one from the deck to the grave. Primera is going to activate Chainlink Block with a Field Spell Mate to now make our level 12. Level 12 Legatia pop Kit Cal draw 1? Not really good. They're going to mill 5 off of the Kit Cal. Look at them thighs. Oh my Jesus. Okay. Grab a Gargoyle too. Are we triggering the Legatia? On special summon, we draw a card, then destroy a monster with the highest attack. We can't choose the Moo Dragon here. Centurion Bonds on a synchro summon will equip a monster from the graveyard into our back row. Sure. Get poppin', taking out the Kit Cal. Kit Cal is now going to mill 5. Mill nothing because Ash Blossom negates. Damn. And then we have the follow-up play of another level 12 on the very next turn. We are going to activate our Centurion, summon itself onto the field. Legatia during the end phase, set up from the back row, from the graveyard that is, to put into the back row. Now let's inflict some lethal damage. I don't think they have anything relevant in the graveyard here to worry about. There absolutely is not. Primera summon itself from the back row, trigger the field spell, which we could just regular synchro if we want to. Off of this, we are going to be making our Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon will target the Legatia to synchro summon. We're going to special summon the Gargoyle. To battle we go. First, we're going to attack a bunch of times, and then we're going to synchro the Crimson Dragon within the battle phase. Target Legatia into the Shooting Kesar Dragon. Lethal damage. Why use Shooting Kesar Dragon? Let's read this. Is this better than Blazar in some way? Can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the number of non-tuners used for its synchro. When a card effect is activated, negate the activation. If you do, destroy it. So the Blazar could negate a summon. This could, does not, and it stays in the field after negating. And when this card leaves the field, you could summon a Shooting Star Dragon from your extra deck. There's no way you're playing that, right? We didn't get the level 8 that summons from the back row. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? That level 8, it's like, it looks like something, it's like a machine, a Cyberse. I don't think we did. We didn't get that. Pack bit. Did we get the pack bit? No pack bit. Damn, Konami, what are you thinking? Jerusalem going in. Meta Noise gonna flip down the Jerusalem and fuse with the deck. So we're gonna use Ash Blossom to negate. Combo the Grave Finger, the Ash Blossom mate. Negate. Thus, we get to flip the Jerusalem, send from the deck, and get Fusion Summoning. And the Fusion Summon Kick Kalos can go into a Root Kalos, which will negate a special summon. Let's get to it. Let's do it. Kick Kalos here on summon, send from the deck, or search. We're searching instead of sending. Thus, we're not making a Root Cal on the opponent's turn. We're going to activate the Tier Limit Cache in response to the Primera search in the deck to mill 3. Come forth and summon. Trigger another fusion. Probably not. We sense the Hobness is banished. There is no other fusion play. So we simply could not make a fusion. We're done. The Hobness is limited to 1. So we couldn't make Root Kalos even if we wanted to. That would have been making more sense if we chose to do that, but it's not even possible. So we're now restricted to 1 fusion summon per turn only. Setting up this stand-up Centurion to equip into the back row Trudea to summon itself onto the field, to put itself into the back row, to then equip into the back row level 8, to summon the level 8, to now make a level 12 Synchro Mate. Auxilla. Auxilla on summon, search in the deck. You use the field spell on your own turn. Oh my gosh, don't do that. That was for no reason. Now they get the banish cards from your grave for no reason. It's like style points or something. You don't field spell on your own turn. You don't have to. Phalanx is going to banish a monster on the fields. You know, Auxilla doesn't care if your cards are banished, because Auxilla says place a card that is banished or in the graveyard to your back row, but it's banished face down. Because it's face down banished, now we do care. Because otherwise we could play cards like Dimension Shifter. Phalanx is going to banish the Kick Cal before it activates. Very good. Cashier Birth, additionally summoning our Fenrir. Fenrir searching for the Rise Heart. We're now going to Theosis onto the Fenrir, summon for the deck, our Unicorn. Special, wait, is this Tier Limit or Cashier? What the heck is going on? We're making a Rise Heart here? A Rise Heart in Tier Limit? In your deck, like, you don't want cards banished, your Tier wants to go to the grave. Okay. A Rise Heart, unironically, is a good counter to your cards getting banished. It's going to suck them up as an Xyz material to get them back in the grave if the Arise Heart leaves the field. But Super Poly's going to screw that up, using the Arise Heart and the Druid Swarm to now make a Moo Dragon. Now, since the Arise Heart is being sent to the grave at the same time as the Druid Swarm will trigger if it were sent to the grave. Yup, sent to the grave. We also have the Cashier Birth triggering. We're going to activate Moo Dragon to make our card untargetable by declaring Dark. Trudea is going to special summon itself onto the field, but do nothing off of that. Yup. Let's get to it. Let's do it. The 4 and 4, so we couldn't even make a Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel is something we could have potentially synchroned into. We're playing Bystials with no Chaos Angel. That's interesting. Auxilla grabbing the Banished Gargoyle, putting it into the back row. We're big enough to take out the Fenrir, and the Crime is not dead. And oh my gosh, here's the problem with Phalanx. Phalanx does not return a monster to the field, it special summons it. So by special summoning it and not returning it, it triggers its special summon effect. Kick Cal activates on special summon, not fusion summon, special summon. So now the dead Crime is now live. Omni negate at spell speed 3, negate anything by sending the Sharon to trigger a fusion summon into our Root Kalos. So we have negate anything, Root Kalos negate a special summon, and Fenrir banish. But we could just battle, not activate anything, take out Kick Cal by battle. Crime is off, Sharon is off, we have Fenrir. Making a Little Knight on summon, going to banish the Fenrir off the field. Now we have nothing. So from 3 disruption to nothing. Trudea set up a Primera, grab from our deck a Centurion Bonds. We're going to Gargoyle, summon itself from the back row onto the field to now make our level 12, making Legacia. Legacia's here on special summon. Draw a card, then optionally destroy a monster your opponent controls. Gargoyle, when sent to the graveyard for a synchro, add itself back to the hand from the grave. Randomly drawing as the Gargoyle sends True Data to summon itself onto the field. Sure. Further making with the Little Knights into a Dark. Dark could steal a Dark monster from the opponent's graveyard. What are we doing? Ooh. We're using a Rise Heart against you. Now all your cards are banished. Your Sharon will not be triggering. And we're starting to get things banished to gain the effect of the Rise Heart to banish a card in the field once we gain 3 materials. Legacia equip into the back row a Gargoyle. Sure. Now Crime is going to be activatable as soon as we get a tier limit on the field, which is now. Tier limit Kashtira is here. Going into the Dark. Dark, not destroyed by battle. As we now have the Rhino Heart. I think it's this card that's protecting you from battle. 2,000 or less attack cannot be destroyed by battle. Interesting. Okay. Rhino Heart in response, we're going to summon a Gargoyle. Now, Rhino Heart is simply triggering the Arise Heart to suck up a banished card, but we have Crime to negate. Negate and destroy the Arise Heart. So after we negate it, returning back to our own extra deck, we then send the Sharon by card effect. Sharon's now going to trigger to get Fusion Summoning. Now, the Primuras could summon onto the opponent's turn, but we don't have the field spell to synchro during their turn. We need the field spell to synchro. Shokan into a Kaleido Heart. Kaleido Heart on summon, spin a card in the field, back in the deck. Goodbye to Legacia. Primera is going to search the deck. This is not some form of disruption here. We are in main phase 2, so they could fire off their very first turn play, first main phase 1 play that is, to go into a level 12 synchro if we leave this up. Thus, we're making a Little Knight to not banish one of them. Oh my gosh. I mean, we know that they're going to have plays anyway. Gargoyle and Primera to battle. We go instead of making a level 12 synchro. Main phase 2 synchro Shokan into Legacia. Draw. Optionally destroy the tier limit Kashtira. Gargoyle add back to the hand. Centurion's a slow deck. Looks pretty slow to me. Mill 2 after being destroyed. Centurion Primera, grab the field spell. Gargoyle send Primera, come forth in special summon. And Legacia equip into the back row Primera. We could summon Primera during the main phase to make another level 12. What's that level 12 going to be? It's going to be a Crimson into a Shooting Kesar Dragon. This is a trap effect, not a spell effect. Come forth Primera, so the birth will not trigger. The field spell is triggering off of the summon. Primera's out of cards to search for, interestingly enough, as we now have our Crimson Dragon, which will trigger the Crimson, I should say the Kashtira Birth, to banish 3 cards face down from the grave. Gargoyle triggering before being banished, adding itself back. Crimson Dragon into the Shooting Kesar Dragon. Royal Crimson into Royal Shooting Kesar Dragon into a Royal Negate Anything. That's our one and only disruption. Royally negate and destroy anything. What do we negate? Well, nothing worth negating here. Legacia equip into the back row, Trudea. Even with the Kashtira Birth banishing cards in the grave, we still have enough resources to keep on equipping. Gargoyle send Trudea to come forth and summon. 10,000 damage on the field, just like that. Let's finish this up in a 2-0 victory. The slow, newly released Centurion deck still good enough to defeat Tier Limit. Nicely done. With the help of Bystial, right? Bystial helped them out a bit. Bystial, very good. Good job, Heartbreaker. Thank you very much. Loving the Centurion gameplay. Let's go.